Paradise Lost is revolutionizing Ad Nauseam Tendrils, and today we're going to take a chance and see how good it really is. Let's go check out that deck list. It's finally here. Unfinity has reached Magic Online, and if you're like me, you love Storm Combo, and that means that we're gaining a terrific card today, and that card is Paradise Lost. It is 3 green, so 5 mana total. You get an instant. You roll 2 dice, and then you return cards equal to the mana value of those dice to your hand. So if you roll a 3, you can return a pair of Lion's Eye Diamonds, a Dark Ritual, and an Infernal Tutor to create a loop. You could get Paradise Lost again. You could win the game with the Tendrils of Agony. There's a lot of different plays that you can make, and this card has already put up huge results over those 11 months. Michael Clifford won a Channel Fireball 3K, and today we're playing a list based on Michael Clifford's winning deck list. And you might be familiar with Ad Nauseam Tendrils as the Past in Flames deck. Today we are not playing red at all. No Volcanic Island, no Past in Flames, no Empty the Warrens. We are pure bug, and that's what Paradise encourages. We get 2 green sources in the form of Bayou Tropical Island. We get a main deck Beseech to answer things like Chalice of the Void, which I'm a big fan of. And in the sideboard, Aeve, Progenitor Ooze, Carpet of Flowers, another Beseech, and then the classic Abrupt Decay. This deck list is super good, and I'm really excited to play it for you today. So stick around, hang out, and enjoy the video. I will see you in the first match. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Match number 1, we're on the play with Paradise Lost Ad Nauseam Tendrils. Pretty excited. Here we've opened up a no-lander, but we do have the brand new card. Unfortunately, we cannot keep. We'll have to take a mulligan. This looks like a pretty reasonable 6-card hand. We likely don't need a pair of Wishclaw Talisman. We can put one of these on the bottom and then play more, traditional Ad Nauseam Tendrils plan with our cantrip, set up an Infernal Tutor, Thresholded Cabal Ritual. That's what we're looking to do. I have no clue what our opponent's playing today. Play the Polluted Delta, and we will pass the turn. Urza's Bauble, okay. Lotus Petal. Lion's Eye Diamond. It's the Storm Mirror. Looks like we're dead. I don't like this. Is this the deck I recorded? Infernal Tutor, okay. They reveal a Dark Ritual. That's a Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. And then Beseech the Queen, or I'm sorry, Beseech the Mirror. In my video that I recorded, I guess I published it today, recorded it yesterday. You can find my Beseech video in the card above. I had a insane video with this brand new card from Wilds of Eldraine. I would definitely recommend going to check that out, but we are deterministically dead here on turn 1 to the newest hot tech in the format, Beseech the Mirror, into Gaia's Will. The modern day Past in Flames. I think if you want to be playing a Past in Flames strategy, this one's very good. Alright, I'm not going to make them click through it any further. We can just go to the next game. Unfortunate, we got destroyed in game number 1. Definitely want these Surgicals. I think we want some Flusterstorms as well. We'll probably take out the Beseech. We won't be needing that. 64 cards still in our deck. We could probably shave 1 copy of Paradise Lost. We're not really looking to play a longer value game plan. Got a couple copies of Wishclaw, this Mox Diamond. And I believe you can cut 1 land. I guess we already boarded up Beseech. I'll take out the basic Swamp. Well, I guess I was already at 60. Okay. Submit. Game number 2, we're on the play. Ah, so close. We have to mulligan. We have double Veil of Summer. I think I'm going to try this one out. Keep. Get rid of the Paradise Lost. Well, we are trying to showcase Paradise Lost today. In your opening hand is not really the point in time in which you want that card. It's a card that you want to tutor for in order to win the game. So we mulliganed, we played our land, and now we're looking to defend ourselves using Veil of Summer. They cast Thoughtseize. I think... Is it crazy that I want to grab Tropical Island? Yeah, I'm going to grab Tropical. We have cantrips in our deck. I want to be able to cast them. Veil of Summer. We draw Ad Nauseam. That's a good one. I would love to find land number 2, though. No such luck. We have to pass. Another Thoughtseize. We will Veil of Summer again. They have 4 cards in their hand. We draw another Thoughtseize. I am punished for getting the Tropical Island here. Take a draw. Oh my. Oh my. What a fool. 8 cantrips, 4 Thoughtseize. Obviously, I would draw multiple Thoughtseize. Come on, deck, pretty please. No way. Come on. We have to... Actually, hold on. Am I allowed to go to second main phase? Let's play out the Lion's Eye Diamond. We will pass the turn. Our opponent could kill us at any moment, and I can't do anything to stop it. They play land number 4. It looks like they're going to pass with 4 cards in hand. We will draw for turn. Ay, ay, ay. I guess we go to clean up? I'm afraid of discarding Tendrils and them having Surgical Extraction. Discard the Ad Nauseam. Even if we drew a black land, I can't cast it. So, that is my rationale here. They're fetching multiple times. 4 mana for a Beseech the Mirror. No bargain. Come on, deck. Pretty please. This is our spot. No way. Ugh. Absolutely devastating. So many draws. That's like 6 draws in a row that were all misses. 7 with the Ad Nauseam? No, it couldn't have been 7. My apologies. This is turn 7 now. I don't even know at this point. Start a Thoughtseize. How did they not kill me with a Beseech the Mirror? Do they just assume that I have Flusterstorm? So I can't beat a Veil of Summer here. I didn't board an Aeve because I wasn't thinking of it. Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual, Thoughtseize. They're likely to Veil of Summer here. And they have Surgical Extraction on my Infernal Tutors, which, yeah, I mean, that's a blowout. Thoughtseize, they have 6 cards. And they've just been sitting on the win. I can't do anything here to stop them. Take the Beseech the Mirror. I mean, I could mini Tendrils, but I don't think that's even good. So I can Tendrils for 14, they would go to 3, and then I'm just dead on their turn. I'm not sure what else I'm supposed to do here. Tendrils. This match did not go our way. Alright, so they're going to play Mox Opal, Mishra's Bauble, Lotus Petal, Lion's Eye Diamond, and then another Lion's Eye Diamond. So what they can do here is they can Infernal Tutor for Beseech the Mirror and just replay their entire graveyard. So if you're watching this video and you're like, Bryant, you messed up grabbing Tropical Island, hindsight bias, I would agree with you. That said, in the moment, I thought it made a lot of sense. And even if you disagreed, which I think is a very reasonable thing, like I'm not going to try to argue that this didn't pan out. With the way that our draws ended up going, I'm not convinced we would have won if we got the Bayou anyway. We ended up just not drawing anything. We're super dead here. The only way we win this is if our opponent messes up somehow. They cast Infernal Tutor, a Ball Ritual, okay. Another Beseech the Mirror, empty the Warrens. Okay, I guess they can Beseech again for Tendrils. They're just showboating. MT has finished resolving. And now they will Surgical Extraction our Veil of Summers. Cool. They cast another Beseech the Mirror. And there is Tendrils of Agony. I won't make them click through all of that. We will concede. And we are 0-1 to start off this Legacy League. Not the way I wanted it to go. Our draws were kind of stinky, but we're going to chin up, try to win the future matches. 4 more left to go. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Let's bounce back in match number 2. We're on the draw, and I am going to keep this hand. The Mox Diamond is interesting when we only have one land, but if we draw a second land, we could play turn 1 Wishclaw Talisman, which I'm a huge fan of, and, you know, makes it so we don't lose to Wasteland. I think Mox Diamond has a lot going on for it in this deck, particularly because we're a bug color deck now, and unlike Chromox, it can provide you any of the colors that we need. Karn Silex. Okay, I'm going to need to read this one. Players can't pay life to cast spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. And then you can destroy permanents. So we can discard this fetch land to the Mox Diamond. Alright, let's play our Mox Diamond, discarding the Polluted Delta. And then we'll cast Thoughtseize. Goodbye, Grim Monolith. Pass the turn. So they could use their Silex here to blow up my Mox Diamond. But I don't know. Like, I took the play we had. I got to cast the Thoughtseize. Is that the game? Dark Ritual? Cabal Ritual? Hold up. Let's hold off on casting that. Lion's Eye Diamond. Wishclaw Talisman. It is not the game. I mean, it might be the game, don't get me wrong. But I can't get Threshold here that I can think of. So a whole priority on this Cabal Ritual. We'll discard and add 3 black. But that's only 6 cards. So we can't pay life to cast spells, but Ad Nauseam doesn't require paying life. So we will reveal the top card and lose life, but we are not paying life as a cost. All right, we're at 9. Can't use that Misty. We go to 8. All right, we're at 3, and we gave our opponent a tutor. This is not looking very good for us. There's still another 5-drop in our deck. Ay, ay, ay. I'm going to flip. I'm at 1. Ad Nauseam Tendrils, you're letting me down tonight. No Lotus Petals, no lands that, you know, aren't fetch lands. We would need multiple runners to win from here. One more? Nope. Wow. Okay. Well, that was brutal. And now we can go to game number 2. We will board out Veil of Summer against the artifact-based strategy. We likely want Echoing Truth. Whoops, I did not mean to board in Surgical. We probably want the Beseech and these Abrupt Decays. And I think I want to try an Aeve Progenitor Ooze here. We can board out 1 Paradise Lost. Sure, this seems like a reasonable Magic the Gathering hand. Let's see if we can get a game win. They've taken a mulligan to 6. We will lead off on Polluted Delta, and then we'll search out Underground Sea. Cast Thoughtseize. Let's get rid of this Karn the Great piece of trash, and pass the turn. Ancient Tomb, Grim Monolith, and then they play the Karn Silex once again. Tormod's Crypt, draw for turn. It's a Ponder. Let's cast the Brainstorm. Okay. I don't love Thoughtseize anymore. We can probably get rid of that. And maybe a Wishclaw. And I think I'm actually going to burn the Lotus Petal here to cast Ponder. We don't need any of those. We will shuffle. Tendrils of Agony, not ideal. They play the Urza's Saga. They now have 2 unknown cards in their hand. Slime Time, not... That's actually a card I wanted to get with the Infernal Tutor to avoid Tormod's Crypt. Ah, wow. This deck is not loving me tonight. We are passing. We're about to be down 0-2 with the way that these games have gone. So on our opponent's turn, they played another copy of Urza's Saga, and now we're casting Ponder. We will shuffle. We drew a Misty that we can't use. We might as well play it, just in case we draw Chain of Vapor later. They create a 4/4 construct token. And now they're making another token. They grab a Needle. Okay. They name Wishclaw Talisman. I do have one in my hand, but we also have triple Infernal Tutor. They play a Crystal Vein. That can be used to activate the Urza's Saga to create another construct. Our opponent is now representing lethal, with a Tormod's Crypt and a Karn Silex in play. Outside of a perfect Brainstorm here, I don't believe there's a single card that can get us out of this. It's certainly not Polluted Delta. Okay, well, this league has been a little bit of a nightmare so far. I am confident we can get some Paradise Lost wins, but not the first 2 rounds, unfortunately. So stick around for match number 3. Let's see if we can make it happen. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Welcome to round number 3. We're on the draw. I have no clue what our opponent's playing, but I don't think that the triple Veil of Summer double Infernal Tutor hand is it. We will mulligan. Okay, so this hand just needs a black source. I think I'm willing to play ball with that. So we will keep this on the draw, see if we can find, a Dark Ritual, an Underground Sea, and then try to win. Turn 1, Underground Sea, Ponder. They quickly shuffled. Okay. Bayou. Going to play out the Lion's Eye Diamond and pass. I think we might be playing an Antmere here. I've definitely faced this person before. I haven't been looking up opponents' decks this league, but for some reason in my gut, I feel like they were on Ant. I mean, this could just be a Grixis Delver start, but that's not what I feel like it. Like, Misty Rainforest? I don't know. Feels a little bit like Ad Nauseam Tendrils to me. Okay, activate the Misty Rainforest. For Bayou. Dark Ritual. Lotus Petal. Lion's Eye Diamond. Are we dead again? Infernal Tutor. Storm 5. It's the mirror match. Okay, let's hope they can have a Bryant Cook Ad Nauseam. Lotus Petal, that's not right. 2 Lotus Petals? Come on. Who are you? Jeez Louise. They're at 7-3. That should win the game. And we do not have a Veil of Summer here. Although if I had kept my 7, I mean, it would have worked out very well for the home team. But unfortunately, that is not how this game is going to play out. I will concede and save some time. Okay, we want Flusterstorm. We also want Surgical Extraction. Probably want Aeve Progenitor Ooze. I mean, that doesn't seem amazing in the mirror match, but I'm not sure what else we're supposed to do here. Boarding out 1 Paradise Lost, 2 Wish Claws, and the basic Swamp. Try this again. Game 2 on the play. No chance. I mean, Thoughtseize isn't enough to keep a hand. Well, keep this, I suppose. I don't love it. Play out a Lotus Petal and another Lotus Petal. And we'll pass. They just have turn 1 Misty Rainforest. Okay. Take a draw step. Ponder. Let's cast Ponder. These are all good cards. Keeping them past the turn. They play a Misty Rainforest and activate. Underground Sea. Thoughtseize. I will cast Veil of Summer. And it looks like they have Flusterstorm. Sure, I'm not going to fight over this. I think our Lotus Petal is just more valuable. Like, they could take one of my 2 Brainstorms or a Cabal Ritual. Like, who cares? It's fine. They take the Cabal Ritual. They still have 5 cards in hand. We should be drawing Thoughtseize here. We will cast that. We'll take their Dark Ritual, try to slow them down. They're definitely ahead here. Wishclaw Talisman. Surprised they didn't try to ponder for land number 3 there. Cast Brainstorm. Interesting. So we can hide the Wishclaw on top and then play out our artifacts. Please don't kill me. Opponent casts Ponder. They play Tropical and then they search out Volcanic. So they're still on Past in Flames then. So now we're going to draw the Wishclaw Talisman. We'll play that. And I am not going to activate my Misty Rainforest. I am just going to, I mean, I could cast Paradise Lost here. It's not deterministic, which is my concern. I'm going to grab Ad Nauseam. From 17 life. Did you find the second Fluster? They did not. Okay. Oh no, I'm having another Bryant Cook Ad Nauseam here. Okay, we're still at 8-4. There's an Aeve and a Paradise Lost that could kill me here. I'll stop. Play the Tropical. Lotus Petal. Let's Brainstorm. Bunch of lands. Put back 2 lands, and now we'll go to 3 life. Grab Bayou. Dark Ritual. Attempt to Thoughtseize them. No Veil of Summer. Big fan. Cabal Ritual. And Tendrils of Agony. We're about to go to game number 3. That is our first game win. Geez, and I didn't even cast Paradise Lost. I mean, I couldn't. My graveyard wasn't full. Alright. Hopefully we get another victory here. Let's resubmit. This might be crazy, but I want to keep this. And we're an Infernal Tutor away from greatness. They have turn 1 Tropical. I am not going to cast the Thoughtseize into Veil of Summer here. They play a Ponder for Polluted Delta. Slime Time. I do love Slime Time, but now is not the right time for Slime. We'll grab an Underground Sea and attempt a Thoughtseize. They grab a Bayou. And surprise, surprise, Veil of Summer, our Thoughtseize fizzles. We'll pass. Brainstorm. Polluted Delta. Draw for turn. Another Thoughtseize. Let's try it out. See how it fits, you know? Does it feel good? Who knows? Is this a Fluster? So this might be bait for what it's worth. Because if I Dark Ritual and pay, they could then Veil, untap, and kill me. I'm going to let this go. Preordain. Their own Thoughtseize. We will attempt a Veil of Summer. We draw Lion's Eye Diamond number 3. They ponder. I mean, we have a bunch of cards that win the game here. We just have to find something. They chose to shuffle on the ponder. They play out a Lion's Eye Diamond. Lotus Petal. They're moving quickly. And they pass. Okay, we have 7 in hand. I mean, Veil wasn't a terrible draw. We'll pass back. They pass. We draw another Veil of Summer. We'll play out a Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay. And now they play another Ponder. Interesting. They're sending the turn back to me. Let's cast Ponder. I mean, do we keep this? I think we probably do. Play a Lion's Eye Diamond. We'll pass. So you might have wondered why I drew Infernal Tutor. I think at this stage in the game, there's a really interesting dynamic where Surgical Extraction becomes incredibly good at removing each other's Veil of Summers. And if that is the case, I don't want this to be on top of my library where it could be shuffled away. I think we have discard down because we have a pair of Veils. What could actually harm me is having Surgical Extraction target something in my graveyard. So I chose to draw this. Dark Ritual. Cabal Ritual. Lion's Eye Diamond, they have 3 cards in hand. And our opponent is just passing the turn. Okay, that's a little bit odd. Let's cycle a Veil of Summer. I think I'm going for the win, so we might as well try to do something else. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. How about a Cabal Ritual? Threshold. Another Cabal Ritual. And let's Veil of Summer. In case they have another copy of Flusterstorm here. And they do. And we have the ability, we have so much mana here that I can easily pay for this Flusterstorm. That's what we'll do. Veil of Summer. We draw another Dark Ritual. Lion's Eye Diamond. Alright, we are going to cast Paradise Lost. And I will add green, blue, green. Storm 9. Let's grab Paradise Lost. What do I roll? I rolled a 5. Ugh. So my Aeve is in the graveyard. This is actually really awkward. Wow, I'm getting punished here for boarding out my Paradise Lost. My opponent had the win last turn and didn't go for it, so I feel like I'm supposed to go for it here. Really wish I had a Flusterstorm. So I think I'm going to pass on the Aeve. We'll do Ponder, Infernal Tutor. Pretty sure they have a Veil. We'll take a Thoughtseize and our own Veil of Summer. Oh wait, it's 9 or less? Oh, I rolled a 5 and a 6. Okay, hold on. That changes things. I can return the Aeve Progenitor Ooze. So now we have 9 mana selected. I can return a Polluted Delta as well. And this Misty Rainforest. Okay. I should learn how to read. I rolled a 5 and a 6, not just a 5. I thought the number that I saw was only 5. If you watched my video from yesterday, you know I don't know how to read. We'll play the Delta. Let's cast Ponder. Take Dark Ritual. I actually messed this up because I was too busy switching between plans. I was supposed to get back Veil of Summer. That was the actual... I wasn't supposed to grab this Thoughtseize. Let's attempt a Thoughtseize that's going to get veiled. Surprise, surprise. I can't believe that happened. Dark Ritual. And now we will Slime Time. Storm's 18. So many slimes. Fun fact, if you buy an Epic Storm mini token pack, we do have Slime Time tokens. That said, if you were looking to build up to, 18 slimes, there's not that many in there. My apologies. Alright, and now we will hold priority on Infernal Tutor. And I'm going to sacrifice for black, blue, and I'm going to leave one Lion's Eye Diamond. Let's grab Ad Nauseam. Alright, 15 life. Most of the expensive cards have been removed. I'm at 9, 7. We have a Veil left, and that's the card I really want. I'm at 5. There we go. Okay, so let's Cabal Ritual, Infernal Tutor. Let's grab another Surgical. And now I'm going to Surgical, Blusterstorm, paying mana. And our opponents conceded the game. Yes, alright, we got our Paradise Lost win with Aeve Progenitor Ooze. I almost messed it up, but thankfully I didn't, and we're now 1-2 with 2 matches left to go. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Alright, match number 4. Let's try to win another one. Our opponent reveals a Yorion Sky Nomad. While our hand is good if they're a control deck, it's pretty bad if they're on Death and Taxes. I'm going to choose to believe that in the format that just gained up the Beanstalk, that they're on a control deck. I hope I'm not wrong. Fluted Delta will pass the turn. Hey, not Death and Taxes. Okay. We'll draw, and it's a Wishclaw Talisman. Just like we drew it up. Play out the Lotus Petal. And I'm going to play the Claw here with Veil of Summer back up. The Force of Will pitching Narset. And I am going to cast this Veil of Summer. We drew another Veil of Summer. How lucky. The opponent now has 6 cards in their hand. Basic Plains, they fetch, they grab an island. Staff of the Storyteller. Okay. We'll draw for turn. Tropical. Okay. I mean, there's got to be some sort of line here. We can Paradise Lost, returning our graveyard, floating 1. But is that good enough? So this is 4, 5. I could also put Ad Nauseam on the stack, but it's not protected. We're down a Lotus Petal. Let's just cast the Dark Ritual and see what happens. Cabal Ritual. Activate the Wishclaw. I think I'm going to jam. Don't punish me. Victorious. Not necessarily this game, just at resolving Ad Nauseam. Who knows in this deck? Mox Diamond looking pretty good here. Lotus Petal. Wow, is this what it's like to be an Ad Nauseam Tendrils player? Where you just flip your few zeros that you play and everything works out? Okay, we'll stop at 4. Let's play that Mox Diamond. Discard a land. Play Lotus Petal. We have Threshold. We're allowed to cast this Cabal Ritual. From a 6. Okay, that was game number 1. Not sure what they're playing, but I think I want the Aeve Progenitor Ooze. We can board out Ad Nauseam versus the control deck. We likely want these Carpet of Flowers, the Abrupt Decays, Beseech. Get rid of the Mox Diamond. I actually kind of like shaving Cabal Rituals when you're bringing in the carpets. I think that's just like a good thing that you want to be doing. Likely cut at least 1 Wishclaw Talisman. I'm going to shave another Wishclaw down to 2, and I'm sort of second guessing the second Beseech. It's either the second Beseech or Abrupt Decay that's going to leave. You could also board out a fetch land. Let's try that out. It's a little bit sketchy, but hey, it's what I'm here for. This seems decent. We will keep. Island, okay. Carpet of Flowers. We're going to sit on that. We don't want to tip our hand to our opponent and have them start fetching for non-island mana source. So this is a pretty strong signal that our opponent has a Force of Will that they're willing to tap out on turn 2 here. And another Infernal Tutor was honestly not very good. I'm going to see if I can get them to Force of Will a Dark Ritual. That resolved, okay. I guess I'll Infernal Tutor. Grab a Lotus Petal. Let's play Lotus Petal. And another Lotus Petal. Am I allowed to have a Carpet of Flowers? Yes was the answer. So I could Infernal Tutor again for a Cabal Ritual, but I don't think that's actually very good. I'm just going to pass. I'm not sure if I love the line that I took there, but I mean, I was in a tough spot. Like, we were going to have to discard. I don't know. They attack with their Spirit. We'll go to 19. Windswept Teeth. They activate Staff. We draw land. Let's not activate the Carpet. Let's fetch. Grab Bayou. Infernal Tutor. Reveal Cabal Ritual. We have both Cabal Rituals now. And then we'll pass the turn. And step they Brainstorm. They grab a Taiga. Interesting. They must have Pyroblast in hand and we don't have any blue cards. Funny how Magic works. They play Flooded Strand. 3 mana for an Uro Titan of Nature's Wrath. So now they'll gain 3 life, they can draw a card, and then put a land onto the battlefield. We'll take another Paying Off the Spirit, going down to 17. They're at 22 with 2 open mana. Tropical Island. Ponder. So that's a second island for this Carpet of Flowers. I do like that. My concern here is that we're likely facing an Endurance deck, and I have no way of stopping Endurance. Corrupt Decay was not a stellar draw. Okay, so I think I'm going to just pass for now. Our opponent fetches with Flooded Strand. They grab a Tundra. They escape Uro Titan of Nature's Wrath. They draw a card. They can put a land onto the battlefield. They do not. They have 7 cards in there. I am pretty nervous about that. Let's target their Uro. I'm starting to wonder if maybe I made a mistake by boarding out the Ad Nauseam. Maybe that's a card I wanted to leave in the deck. Especially against a deck that doesn't apply pressure. It was likely a mistake in hindsight. We finally drew a blue spell. Make triple green here. Ponder. Don't think any of these cards really help me. I'd love a discard spell. Give me a Thoughtseize. Another Veil isn't terrible. Cabal Ritual. So if they have double force, they beat me. But I could just try to bait out counter magic with Veil. And if I draw into a green source, we can Paradise Lost. A Force of Negation, exiling Force of Will. I'll cast the other Veil of Summer. And they did have double force. We can just pass the turn now and come back next turn with the Paradise Lost. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay. They have 3 cards in their hand. I'll take 1 down to 15 life. We have drawn Dark Ritual. Yes. We'll make green. I suppose I can use just the Dark Ritual here and keep the Cabal Ritual. Pass Paradise Lost. Storm 2. They draw a card with Staff of the Storyteller. Okay, they have 4 cards in their hand now. And there's Endurance, exiling another Endurance. Bummer. Not looking good for us here, but we're still in it. Yeah, it was very foolish of me to board out the Ad Nauseam, I think. Not that it would have been the Paradise Lost, but I think we wanted the Ad Nauseam up. Field of the Dead. Spicy. Yorion goes to their hand. They attack. They did not loot with Fable of the Mirrorbreaker, by the way. That's pretty interesting. We draw a Lion's Eye Diamond that we can't do anything with. I think we're probably dead here. Fable will now transform into Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. Wasteland. They're 1 of Wasteland in their Field of the Dead deck. Ay, ay, ay. Goodbye, Underground Sea. Okay. 5 mana. This is going to be a Yorion. Ooh, Field of the Dead plus Staff of the Storyteller is a sweet combo. I do like that. Yorion on the end step will return Fable and Staff of the Storyteller. Okay. Take a draw step. Might as well cast the Thoughtseize and see what they're holding before I die. Yeah, we were not winning that. Alright, we'll go to game number 3. Let's bring that Ad Nauseam back in. What was I thinking? Board out a Paradise Lost. Do I want more Wish Claws? I think I'm going to get rid of the Abrupt Decays. We have Beseech. I think that should be enough to cover us. Let's try this. Game number 3. Absolutely not. We'll keep, put back the Paradise Lost, Underground Sea, and then we will Thoughtseize. Why couldn't I just open up a turn 1 here? Come on. I think it's probably the Ponder. Digs the deepest for Force of Will or any other sort of interaction. They played the Flooded Strand. They could have gone Forest, Abundant Growth, and chose not to. Carpet. We'll just fetch and play a Wishclaw Talisman. Here we go. They search out a basic island and cast Brainstorm. Wishclaw resolves. Good to see. They play the Forest. Here's Abundant Growth. So we know that they have Staff of the Storyteller and an Uro Titan of Nature's Wrath. Play the Carpet. And then I think that I just want to Ponder here. Wow, that was a very good Ponder. Okay. Thoughtseize you. I don't care about any of this. Guess we'll take the Narset. Pass. They play Staff of the Storyteller. That's interesting. They could have played a Fable or an Uro here. What was your draw? I mean, maybe they just want to draw off the staff. We'll do black. Dark Ritual. Lion's Eye Diamond. They draw a card. Infernal Tutor. In response, we will sacrifice this for 3 black. I think I just want to Ad Nauseam. Ad Nauseam. We have Veil of Summer backup as well if we need it. Off of the Wishclaw Talisman. We have a land drop. So there is a card that kills us here. I'm going to stop flipping. That was not great. Let's Brainstorm. Oh, our opponent's had enough. Cool. Let's see how many cards Magic Online will let us draw. Veil of Summer, Carpet. That would have made 2 mana into Carpet. So we could have gone Carpet here off of the Beseech. So that's 4/5 mana. Wishclaw for Lion's Eye Diamond, Infernal Tutor Tendrils. We would have gotten there. Okay. Well, we are now 2-2 with 1 match left to go. Let's finish this with a positive record. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. The 5th and final match, we're on the draw, and I will keep. I have no idea what they're playing, but our opening hand is, you know, fairly decent. They play Polluted Delta, okay. Volcanic Island. And a Ponder. Dark Ritual's the draw step. Let's grab a basic island and cast Ponder. This is interesting. How badly do I want this Thoughtseize? I think the answer is that I do. But also to shuffle. Then I have to draw a protection spell and an action spell. I'm going to shuffle. Boo. Okay. Dragon's Rage Channeler. We draw another land. We'll play 1 and pass the turn. They search out an Underground Sea and cast Brainstorm. They do get a Surveil trigger. They mill a Death Shadow. So they're on Grixis Shadow. Our opponent has finally resolved their Brainstorm and we will pass. And a Ponder. Quickly surveils a Watery Grave. Okay. And now Ponder will look at 3 fresh cards. They do not shuffle on the Ponder. And now they cast a Thoughtseize. Joke's on them, my hand is terrible. They take the Mox Diamond. Okay, sure. Yeah, you got it. They attack for 3, I'll go to 16. Well, that was a good draw. Let's cast a Brainstorm. Does this get hit by Force of Will? It does not. We find Tendrils. Oh my. They're at 16. So if we put back like Cabal Ritual... Brainstorm. Or I could go Dark Ritual. Okay, that's another option. Okay, Storm is 2. Underground Sea. Let's attempt a Dark Ritual. Second Dark Ritual. Let's Brainstorm. Storm is 5. Put back the pair of Cabal Rituals. We'll fetch here. Really hope I find a Thoughtseize off this Ponder. Ponder Storm 6. I think we take the Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond, Storm 7. Diamond, Storm 8. And then Tendrils of Agony, Storm 9. What a turn. Brainstorm is such a powerful Magic the Gathering card. If I'm the opponent, I am livid that this just happened to me. And the Tendrils are all resolving. They're not F6ing, so they're waiting. I think that our opponent might have like some counter magic they're going to try to use at the end, so I am going to just manually resolve all of these copies. Okay. So we have game number 1 versus Grixis Death's Shadow. Really interested in Carpet of Flowers here, as well as the Aeve Progenitor Ooze. Let's get rid of the Mox Diamond. I'll probably take out the Ad Nauseam here. Beseech is good in these matchups because it hits Null Rod, and it's just an extra land to play through days. You don't really need Abrupt Decay when you have Beseech. I like to shave a couple copies of Cabal Ritual when we're bringing in the Carpet of Flowers. And let's try a Lotus Petal. We're not really looking to turbo in this matchup, so I'd rather just have... Like, think of it this way. We boarded out a Lotus Petal and we brought in a Beseech. It's still a mana source. It's going to be okay. This seems fine to me. Keep. Ooh, Street Wraith. They're on a hyper-aggressive build. Well, I guess it does give you Delirium. But a lot of lists recently don't play Street Wraith. That's a Dragon's Rage Channeler. We draw a Wishclaw. We will just play a land and pass. If you're thinking I would have played Carpet of Flowers there, that is a choice you can make. I don't think it's necessarily wrong, but it does two things. One, it allows your opponent to daze you, and then you don't get a carpet. And the second thing it does is it means that your opponent can play around it by not searching out islands, things like that. So I prefer to wait a turn. Our opponent surveils away an Orcish Bowmaster. And now they're going to attempt a Thoughtseize. I am going to try to Veil of Summer here. We'll search out Tropical Island. This is a spot where a daze could really hurt me. But it resolves! Yes, big fan. Love it. Okay. Our opponent does not have Delirium and they accidentally don't attack. We'll play out a Misty. Fetch immediately. Grab Bayou. Let's play a Carpet of Flowers. That resolves. We'll play another Carpet of Flowers. And now we'll switch phases. Carpet. I would like to trigger it. We'll make blue and black. Pass Brainstorm. My plan here is that I'm going to hide the Progenitor Ooze on top of our deck. And I guess I'll play a Wishclaw now. And the Wishclaw Talisman resolves. We will pass the turn. Wasteland. It's funny. Destroying their own land would be a lot more impactful here than destroying any of mine. But they go after mine, and they attack for 1 with 4 cards in there. We will draw the Progenitor Ooze. We'll make green, and then black. Play Polluted Delta. I'm going to fetch, which might be a little bit of a tell here, but I want to make sure that I keep the colors to cast the Ooze. Play Brainstorm. That was pretty good. Put Veil of Summer on top. Let's attempt a Cabal Ritual. Thoughtseize. They have nothing. Okay. Play another Cabal Ritual. So Storm's currently 4. I mean, I believe that this is just lethal. We'll play an Aeve Progenitor Ooze. This is 20 power. They have to attack, and they can't play the 2 Death Shadows in their hand. And I don't have to give them a Wishclaw. I mean, I could activate right now for Tendrils of Agony, but I don't think that's a wise move. They attack for 3, I'll go to 11. Sure. So they drew a Polluted Delta. Oh no. Not like this. Oh, friend. Awkward. So they would fetch down to 13, and this would be a 0/0 anyway. So I guess it didn't matter. And we finished this with a positive record. We went 3-2. Looking at the deck list. I don't know if I have any strong opinions on it, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think that Pair of Dice Lost was okay this league. Was it better than Past in Flames? It was able to buy back an Aeve Progenitor Ooze at one point, which Past in Flames could never have done. That's pretty interesting. The Mox Diamond tech didn't really end up panning out. In Michael Clifford's list, this was a Chrome Mox, but Mox Diamond was seeing some play in other lists because you can discard lands, get them back with Paradise Lost. It makes all 3 colors for Veil of Summer and whatever. It just didn't really get a chance to shine, unfortunately. Our deck had a really high overall mana value. We have 12 cards that cost 2, the Tendrils of Agony, and then 10 mana value worth of Paradise Lost. Ad Nauseam was not very reliable, and we saw that in the first 2 matches. So I don't really know what to think. I do think that in our first 2 rounds we had some bad variants, and then we were able to play more normal games of Magic in the last 3 matches, but is this a huge upgrade over Past in Flames? I think it is a small upgrade over Past in Flames. I don't think it fixes any of the problems with Ad Nauseam Tendrils, if I'm being completely honest. That said, Beseech the Mirror into Gaia's Will, that might be worth exploring, and maybe in the future I'll record that in the Ad Nauseam Tendril shell. But that's all I've got for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day, and as always, keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. There's no better way to support our channel. If you're interested in elevating your combo game, visit theepicstorm.com/tutoring for details about our coaching sessions. Don't worry, there's more great combo content coming right up.